and lived in Tanzania, in Dar es Salaam for 9 years. At the age of 9, I moved to Dubai. It's amazing how one sport has put so many people together, actually has created so many families as well. And I happen to be one of the initial, I believe, 10 families in 1997, July, that moved here.
So in about 2007, 2008, we had the recession in America, and the vibe around the community in general and in our community wasn't that great. Can you just go over the time sort of before you became president?
Yes. So lots of people were moving to Florida, taking opportunity of the real estate deals back in, everything was cheaper than New York or anywhere else in the U.S. And there was a community, so a lot of people were moving and buying homes and so on. Unfortunately, around 2007 or 8, a lot of these members who bought homes and so on and so forth lost a lot of money because the value of their homes had probably dropped by 50, 60% and so on. So there was a lot of turmoil, negative vibes within the membership in the community, and it wasn't even a positive thing to come to mosque at that time, because you didn't feel like you wanted to go and listen to somebody else's problems. A few of us, Brother Reza Danji, Brother Murtaza Darsi, Brother Rizwan Jessa, Brother Shabir Pirbai, we actually sat down and said, listen, this is not something positive for this community, and we as the generation that is now needs to take over, have to do something about this. And I think the community was looking for a change, for a different route to take at that time. So we decided, and we took it upon ourselves to call a membership meeting at a private at a hotel here in Sanford. 35, I would say, prominent members showed up, if more, I'm not sure how many. And the discussion that took place there was, what do we do for our community to change it for the future? And I believe that meeting led to several other meetings within the 5 people that I mentioned to you. And I remember one night at my house, the 5 of us were sitting on a Sunday night, I believe it was, at about 9:30 at night. And we actually decided at that moment to say that, okay, the elections are coming up, and let's take it upon ourselves to change the direction of Husseini Islamic Center. And everybody seemed very positive. Everybody said, yeah, okay, let's do it. And it was decided that night that we were going to come in as a committee.
So what would you say was, I guess, the motivation or the driving force behind you saying that, you know what, it's time, like, I have to do this 100%,
Honestly, I honestly think that it was the motivation that we gave each other. The motivation came from the core team, which is the 5 names that I mentioned, and we all sort of, everybody had a question mark as to do we really want to get into this? Do we really want to do this? We don't know what exactly is involved in it. We've never, four of them had never, besides me, actually Brother Raza Danji was a secretary as well, but everybody was sort of, questioning like, okay, do we really need this right now? And we all motivated each other, and we said, yes, if there ever is a time to change direction for this community, this is it. And that night we motivated each other basically to step into the office and do things going forward.
So collectively, as a group, you guys decided that it's time for a change. We need something that will drive this community towards better things. And you came together and you said, okay, that's it, we'll do it. Were there any people or any elders in our community that you sort of looked up towards before taking this route?
Obviously, again, we, the five of us, had gone out to seek support of people like Brother, Marhum Liaquat Fazal, past President Brother Jabir Chatu, and many other community members that basically gave us their support and said, yeah, you know what, it's about time. Let's now let the youngsters come in and move this community forward. Not saying that the community was not moving forward earlier, but it was a change of direction, and I think it was due at that time. Taking all the scenarios that we had at that time. So a lot of the elders, a lot of the members were very positive, gave us a lot of support, a lot of advice, and that as well sort of gave us the boost that we needed and the comfort that we needed to take on these positions.
So when you come in charge, basically, when you come in charge of this community, you're relatively, apart from yourself and Raza Uncle, you're not very well experienced with how things are. And I think a lot of people are probably in that position. Perhaps they feel like, I really want to do something, but I've never done this before, so I really don't know if I can. What would you tell them?
I never thought, and I believe I speak for the team that was working with me, none of us ever thought that we would be sitting in leadership positions even a year before we decided. Forget years, before that. And I think there comes a time when and it happened to us, where you realize that the future of our community lies within these four walls here, and the ideas have to change. The ideas have to be different for this community to move forward. So if we keep thinking about the same things, and if we keep thinking and doing things the same way our forefathers did back in Zanzibar or Dar es Salaam or wherever, they may not work out as well here in Sanford. So I would say that any youngster that has even 15 minutes of time a day to give to this community, and if you take on positions and if you look out to make sure that this community moves forward, you will be rewarded in many ways here and in the hereafter, inshallah. And that's really all I can say. You have to dive into the pool to know how deep it is, and that's what we did. And alhamdulillah, look where we are today.
So you finally become the president of HIC. What were some of your visions when you became the president?
Was to bring transparency to the community. We were having 5, 6 hour, 7 hour general meetings, which was unnecessary. We wanted to change that. There were particular issues at that time, very pertinent issues that needed to be solved and solved very fast. Those needed to be solved, and that was one of our visions because it was something that was dragging along and never came to fruition. And we had taken it upon ourselves to solve some of these situations. To make sure that they see us working, meaning like there was no president, there was no vice president, there was no treasurer. Although we took those named positions, all of us in that team were helping each other out. So we would be in the kitchen, we would be serving, and they, the youngsters saw that. And it was something that we wanted to make sure that they see that, listen, this is what it takes to be a leader in this community. You have to do things, yourself so people can see it. So a lot of our visions were basically engaging the community, making sure everybody was comfortable. We wanted to make Husseini Islamic Center a place of comfort where you could come, your problems behind, come here, pray, listen to majlis, whatever, meet your friends, not have to worry about anything. And then once you leave the compound, obviously, it was your own life. But we wanted the mosque to be vibrant. And there were many situations that we were in that needed to be, that needed to happen for us to bring the vibrancy back. And alhamdulillah, with the help of the community members, in one night we were able to collect, I think, $70,000, if I'm not mistaken, that we had a deficit of. So when we took office, we had a deficit of $70,000. We came to the mosque on one night, I think a week after we took office, and we said, we have bills and we need $70,000, and the community stepped up and we collected that money in 1 week. Alhamdulillah. So that gave us the support, and it also showed the people that, okay, you know what, it's time. It's a different time now. Things are going to be positive, and that was part of our vision, to make sure that everybody is comfortable, things are open, and the mosque is vibrant again.
So it was quite a tough time when you came in, and those are some pretty lofty goals. How do you think you guys did collectively?
I'll tell you what, and when we decided to take on these positions, it was absolutely a miracle of God of how some of these situations got solved. Absolutely, you can ask any one of our team members, and they will tell you, because they know exactly how these things were solved. And it was just things happened, and they happened, and it wasn't my power or anybody else's power or my intellect or the intellect of any of the team members. Things happened, and we moved on. I honestly don't have any other. It's not that I was born a leader, and I don't think anybody in my team was born particularly a leader, but I think the situations that we went through and how they got solved not only helped us move the community forward, but it reinstated the faith in God that we probably were shaky on, and that reinstated it because we actually saw things happen that were, in my eyes, miracles.
Working for the community will reinstate your faith in God.
Absolutely.
So, of course, challenges will be there. And like you said, there's some sort of, for lack of a better word, divine intervention that sort of takes care of those challenges.